How can I reduce the risk of being made redundant?
There are very few things ultimately that you can do that will affect whether you are made redundant or not, because very often it's driven at a corporate level and it's to do with aligning costs with revenue. And certainly in terms of all the professional services firms and the developers in the market, revenue has fallen away significantly over the past 12, 24 months. So the basic things you can do is try and make yourself indispensable. Take more and more work on, offer your services to other colleagues and other teams, communicate with your boss on a very regular basis, tell him you want to do more, you're prepared to work harder, you're prepared to work all the weekends, you're going to give up all your holidays. Make yourself indispensable, make yourself seen as the one person who is flexible and would turn his hand or her hand to anything there. Communicate with your boss regularly, and it's really important you know what's going on and you know that he or she appreciates what you're doing and knows your value. If you're sitting in a job, be open to applying for other jobs that are out there, really as an insurance policy. If you do feel exposed in your position that you're in now, I think it's important to really to keep your options open. Talk to a good recruitment consultant, watch the property pages, look on the internet, so that maybe you've got things brewing before anything happens. If you're worried about redundancy, talk to your boss. First things to do.
What do I do if I'm made redundant?
First step, if you get the news that you've been made redundant, really is not to panic. And I know it's difficult to say that. You need to get your CV up together. You need to really pull it together. All the basic advice remains. Keep it simple, maximum of 2 pages. And what your future employer is going to buy is your core experience that you've got now. You need to make sure that your experience in your CV is really, really strong. Lots of project experience. I was responsible for this, I did this, and it resulted in that. Some real tangible projects. What type of buildings do you work on? What type of investments do you work on? Because when it floats in front of a prospective employer, they've got to go, we have to see this guy. He looks great, he's achieved something. He or she has achieved something. Make a plan immediately. Go to the pub that night, but the next day you need to get organised. There are lots and lots of people in the market. Somewhere near 2,500 people have been let from the major property services companies in the UK, so there's lots of people on the market. Lots of people have made hundreds of applications and have got nowhere. Generally, if you're organised, you make your own luck. You have to be organised. Every day you need a plan. You need to know what you're doing. You need to leave no stone unturned. You need to pool your network. You need to make sure that everyone within your property network knows where you are, what you're doing, and what you're available for. You need to talk to people on a constant basis, so you're never out of anybody's mind. You need to find yourself a friendly and a good quality recruitment consultant. They will be your best friend in the market. One of the problems that recruitment consultants got at the moment is that applications for people out of work and looking for new work are up by 500-600%, and new jobs in are down by 50-60%. So you need to make sure you stand out from the crowd. Get in, see a recruitment consultant, persuade them and make them understand why you are different from someone else, and then get organised. Don't panic, it's going to take some time. One thing you can consider is looking at freelance and contract work. Freelance and contract work has tailed off a bit over the last 12 to 24 months, but certainly let anyone you know that you are available for short-term contract work as well. It is out there and it can be rewarding and it looks good on your CV.
What do I do if I can't find a job?
There are many, many graduates out there who haven't found themselves homes as yet. That will change over the next 12 to 24 months, so the advice is very much the same, is don't panic. What you do need to do is make sure you don't waste your time. Any future employer will look to you to see what you've done in the period before you join. So, if you can't find a job in property or a relevant job in property, you need to make sure you're doing something that has some relevance to where you want to end up. Go back to your career plan, look at where you want to be in 5 to 10 years' time. For instance, one area that we surveyors tend to be very weak is on the finance side. Take time to go into a finance course for non-finance professionals. It will set you apart from everyone else. If you can't find any job, don't work in all bar one. Go and do viewings for an estate agent. You're working in property. Go and work for a builder. So you can demonstrate that you've got some additional experience or something that's different from anyone else out there. It's really important not to waste your time. I would even suggest going travelling. You know, lots of employers like to see that graduates have got travelling out of their skin. And if you can't get anything that's relevant, take 6 months off, but achieve something on the way around. Don't just bum in Lombok. Make sure you go and do something. Go and work for 3 weeks with a firm in Sydney, in a property firm, free of charge. Get some experience and get it on your CV. It will set you apart from everyone else.
What should I do if I can't get a job as a qualified surveyor?
If you're in a situation where you're a qualified surveyor and you've been made redundant from another job and you cannot find yourself a new job, there are unfortunately lots of people in that situation right now, and I certainly know of one of my contemporaries that I qualified with that has probably applied for 700 jobs over the last 12 months and has not got anything. You need to do something that's going to set yourself apart from someone else. So, I've said before, undertake a finance course for non-finance professionals. Do a marketing course. Get involved with a charity. The RICS have a new charity called Build Action, where they're seeking to send property professionals to disaster zones around the world. Get involved in something that's going to set you apart from someone else. So any future employer that gets your CV doesn't think this guy's been out of work for 12 months. There's actually a number of things you've done that are relevant to that job you've applied for. Be it working for the local builder, the local building surveyor, the local estate agent, doing a finance course, doing a marketing course. You've just got to do something to set yourself apart.